press start.
Anyway, all right. Well, the other game that came out was actually not a re-release in a way, but it is kind of. What do we call the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga? Is this a re-release?
A reimagining.
It's a new game, I would say.
Reimagining.
It's a new game. All right.
Yeah, I feel like
it's a new game.
it's. I feel
I've only played
there's
like
no
3 of the
reused
levels.
assets, even kinda. Not even.
Okay.
Not even the levels are replicated. Like
I
maybe
was gonna
there's.
say I
Like,
played 3 of the levels of Episode 1, and I'm not recognizing really anything.
no, they
and I played those
didn't
games.
bring in anything from any of the other games. It is
Okay.
completely a new experience.
You could say that it's the same thing in that when you break something, a bunch of Lego pieces come flying out. That
Yeah, and
part's the same.
sometimes you take those broken pieces and build new things. Yeah. So yeah, there's some formula,
Yeah, there you go.
similarities. Yeah.
But for those of you who are playing it, and I'll throw it to you, Jeff and Kyle, since Dan and I did a lot of talking there about Chrono Cross. I'm playing it a little bit, but I think you guys are playing it a little more. Tell me what you think about Lego Star Wars.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, I haven't played nearly probably as much as Kyle has, but or maybe even Tim, you might have played more than I have. If you just said you played it, right? Or you
I played 3 of the whatever levels or areas of Episode 1.
So I kind of am in the same spot on Episode 4. I started with A New Hope. I just went release order, basically.
Well, that's how
what
they
I'm gonna
start
do.
you, right? When you start,
They
They
do.
want you to start on
They do.
4.
It's
yeah,
sitting on
weirdly,
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you and Kyle sounds like you both started with Episode 1.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "You can't make me do that," and so I went back.
Kinda order, yeah.
Can you play as Jar Jar?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so this
Yeah.
game is
You can play as
goaty.
everybody.
This game is goaty, right? I mean, you can
Dude,
play
you should
as-
see the
We'll get
character list. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's milk drinking Luke. Like that's all he does is drink milk. Like
All right, so
yeah,
goaty,
like,
right? I mean,
yeah,
it's
there are characters
Yeah.
that have like no bearing on like doing anything. They're just kind of like
Yeah.
they're just there. They're just in there to be in there.
Yeah, so I'm in A New Hope. I'm like, I don't know, 5 missions, whatever. I just switched before I left out of town because I'm playing on PS5. I didn't have it on Switch, so I didn't get to take it with me or anything. I left off where I switched to Obi-Wan on the Death Star, and he's got, I think he's got R2 with him, right? R2 and C-3PO.
Haven't gotten there.
I haven't played that one yet, so I don't know.
But well, I mean, in the movie, doesn't it?
Oh,
like, everybody else split up. Like they
no,
split
he's
up,
by
and
himself.
Han
He's
and
by-
Han
he's
and
by
Luke are
himself.
together with Leia.
He's by himself. I
Yeah,
think.
the droid
Oh,
split
okay.
up. Han and Luke split up, and then Obi-Wan split. They all kind of
Okay, so in the game, Obi-Wan is reunited with them for some reason, and I'm getting to the duel, and I use the term duel loosely because back in '77 that was not. That was not a great action scene, but
that was 2 old men barely moving the sticks that they were holding.
Let us gingerly touch our tips. Yeah, so I'm going to that point, and then there's really not much left after that. So I'm realizing that now, playing the movie back in my head. I'm like, there's really not a lot after that. There's like,
there's not much of that movie.
You
Really.
kind of unite with the rebel forces, and then you take on the Death Star, and that's it. That's the movie, you know.
After you leave the Death Star, I would be surprised to hear whatever the playable sections are in that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly, because they
do
do try to stretch it out. They try to stretch it out.
Well, I heard that back when they were filming this, they asked Alec Guinness to do a backflip during the fight, and he just would not cooperate.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, I heard he just was just a real stick in the mud about all this movie.
no.
real
I'm a
lightsaber in the
real
mud.
artist. What am I doing here in the desert?
And they were like, "Here's your paycheck." He's like,
Whatever.
"Where do we start?"
Would you say a real lightsaber in the mud, Kyle? Or
Oh, lightsaber in the mud, sure, yeah.
I don't know if the physics of the lightsaber will allow that, but whatever.
Yeah,
So
what
Episode
physics, they're not
7 what
real,
happened,
Jeff.
right? Don't they? Episode 7, doesn't she push it into the ground? And anyway,
anyway, it's really fun so far. It's exactly what I expect out of a Lego game, but there are some improvements, I would say. I would call them improvements, but they're not major, to the melee combat and the shooting, especially. The shooting is definitely the
Shooting
biggest.
is wild how crazy.
Yeah,
it
it's
is. Like,
definitely the biggest upgrade across the entire game, Lego franchise, or whatever you want to call it. Because you know, you can run to cover, sneak out of cover, and it just feels better to shoot. Like it's not, it's a little more responsive now.
feels like a third-person shooter when you're using a gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get behind cover,
Yeah, so I like that stuff, and I'm such a sucker for finding things. Kyle, you brought up a great point when we were chatting about it. in our whatever Facebook chat that nobody else is invited to that's listening to this, it's probably better just play through like the story.
Just play through, yeah,
and then explore as other characters, because certain unlockables you can't get to because certain characters have certain abilities, especially classes. Classes are a thing in this game now, like the Jedi class, the droid class, the whatever Sith class, whatever, and you want to upgrade those as you go along. There's the map is freaking massive. Like, I mean, you can not only jump planets as you unlock them in story, but like each planet has like a certain map that's kind of a dedicated mission or whatever. And it's just crazy how
every
this game
planet
is.
has like a hub area, and when I mean a hub area, I mean like a gigantic town or like a gigantic thing to explore. Yeah. But also before you land on the planet, there's like a gigantic area of space you can explore, like before you even like go into the planet's like atmosphere. This game is like as long as you want it to be.
I haven't flown yet, and I don't know that episode 4 will have a lot of that until the Death Star. I'm kind of like, well,
episode
where's my
1 had
flying?
some pretty fun little escape sequences from the "There's always a bigger fish" scene.
That scene was so great. Yeah,
I thought that was fun. That was really fun.
I had a great time playing that. Yeah. I'm really enjoying episode 1. There's some great jokes. I'm all the way to episode 3 right now. And again, I'm just kind of cruising straight through it because every time I go and deviate off the path, it's like, you need R568. And it's like, so I don't even know what that is.
Exploring's not going to reward you until free play anyway.
Yeah, right? I would wait. And if, for Tim, especially for you, like, it's super easy to like, here, pick up controller and play Chewbacca, kid, and like jump in and like really explore. Because that's like the best way to like maximize like solving puzzles and like finding stuff. I don't know if this game's online. I guess I haven't checked. I don't know if there's co-op online. I don't know if it's just.
I think it is.
Yeah, there is.
I want to give it a try. I think that sounds fun. But I think it's very funny. Like I'm actually laughing out loud, not because I'm just like some Star Wars geek. It's 98% that, but like the other 2% is genuine laughter. I think that there's I won't like spoil too many jokes, but like there's one joke where like Padme's trying to get Anakin's attention, and like he's just doing something else, and Padme's like, "What do I have to do? Get kidnapped by Tusken Raiders to get some attention around here?" And like that's just funny to me. I don't know, like just like it's ridiculous. So there's just like tons of stuff like that in episode 7, which I haven't gotten to yet. When like Poe and like Finn meet back up with each other, they embrace and like hug and like giant like hearts go all around them. So
hey, isn't there a joke about like how the Tusken Raiders, the village has men and the women and children too? Isn't there a joke about that?
Yeah, no, there is a man, women, and children. Yeah, there's a lot of like they take quotes and kind of like
the village has men and the women
and children. Yeah.
So
it's just there's a lot of really silly stuff, and again like the Poe and like Finn like gay relationship stuff is like total like fan headcanon stuff, but like they're like we're leaning into it, like so there's a lot of like just I know leaning into like the zeitgeist of like of Star Wars existing as memes on the internet, I feel like they pull a lot from that stuff. So I've been really enjoying that, and just the moments where like I'm on Coruscant and I'm like, so where do I go? Like it's just like because there's so much to explore and so much to do.
There is. Yeah.
I'm really glad there's at least a waypoint to kind of keep you on track. But like you could sit in these areas for hours and do stuff if you had enough characters to unlock certain areas. So
I mean, it's no wonder this game took. I mean, because everyone was like, "Where is this game?" They just were.
I'm seeing it on a grand level in terms of its scope and everything, I will agree that like maybe the lightsaber mechanics are like upgrades are superficial at best, but like if you wanted to play defensively, which there's no reason to, this game's very easy, you can hit triangle to like counter people or do a counter move and stuff like that, kind of a la like Arkham Asylum or those Arkham games, way slower paced, I would say. But mostly you're just kind of like jumping and jamming on the melee button.
And even if you die, it's one of the least punishing experiences you'll ever have.
Yeah, you lose some coin and that's it.
You lose, like in a game where you have like 500,000 coins, you lose 10 coin every time you die. Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this, Dark Souls?
Yeah, it's super low stakes. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's very.
It looks
cute.
really good too. I want to mention that. I think the visuals are like not that the Lego games have ever been ugly, but this game particularly, there's certain scenes and like when he came up from the water in Naboo, I was like, whoa, this looks really.
I noticed it more in definitely like the art design of the levels and stuff more than the characters, because the characters are just Lego characters. But in the background and stuff, like just the way it's like drawn or animated in the background, I'm like, holy crap, this is like.
Yeah.
this is like HDR, like it looks really good.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And even I was running down the hallway with Qui-Gon's little ponytail flapping on the back of his cloak, but it looked like a Lego piece that was like just mildly loose. You know what I mean? Like it was just really well. It just I feel like it's actual Lego pieces that I'm controlling, and that's what makes it look really good.
Also, I like the puzzles. Like I feel like they kind of revamped the puzzles a little bit. I don't remember them being, not that they're hard, but they're just more. I'm like, oh yay, kind of like I'm like more like jolly with stumbling upon them.
I'm a little happier. I remember playing some of the Harry Potter Lego games because I had a lot of friends who love those games, and I was like, I don't know what these puzzles want me to do right now.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like that maybe they're a little more involved in this game. They're also a little more clear of what you're supposed to do. So, so for my dumb self who doesn't know how to do puzzles in any game, like I'm like, yeah, this is great kindergarten level stuff. But yeah, I think it is funner. I think it's funner to interact with the puzzles in this game in general. I'm really liking it. I don't know. I mean,
same here.
It's not gonna get game of the year or anything, but like it's a hell of a good time. I think it's super cute and charming, and you know,
it's certainly a game that targets a younger audience, but not exclusively. So if you're like, I don't want to play a game for kids, well, okay, fair enough, but think of it more like a Nintendo Mario or Kirby game. Like, yes, the audience. It's very friendly. It's a very kid-friendly, family-friendly game. But you can totally enjoy it as an adult.
Well, I think adults that will fire up the game and see the intro montage sequence will be like, oh, okay, yeah, I have to play this game. Like, because that tugs on a lot of like nostalgia feels and heartstrings in a certain way that even adults can respond to. At least I did. I was like, am I getting chills right now from a freaking Lego montage? This is crazy.
Dude, it made me want to fire up the movies right away. Like I wanted to. Like, I'm going to watch all the Star Wars.
Actual score and just very real moments from the movie without many jokes. Like they just kind of played it serious, and I was like, that actually worked. Like that actually hit me. So that was really well done on their part.
Yeah, I'm with you. So excellent, two excellent kind of throwbacks in a way, but also new in a way. Lego more so. Lego does. I'm with you, Kyle. Lego feels like a totally new game, like it, and it is. So, but also it's not in a way because you've played most of us have played some form of Lego Star Wars in the last 15 plus years. So, most of us have, but this is very, very different. Actually, my 4-year-old found one of our old. We have like one of those DS XLs. It was back when the DS was still a thing, before 3DS, but they made a larger version of it. Might have been a DSi XL, but anyway, we had an old one sitting in the back of some drawer somewhere in the house, and it had the original Lego Star Wars in it that came out for DS, like the old school one.
Okay.
And so he turned it on and was like just kind of randomly hitting buttons, not really playing it, but I looked at it and I was like, that looks horrible. Like that looks so bad. It looks real bad.
I remember back then though, you're like, for me, I was still like, these look like real Legos, you know.
Exactly. And of course that was the DS version. The DS version of everything looked pretty bad. But but hey, they made a 3D Lego game on the DS. You got to give them credit for that. It just didn't.
Early tech too. Yeah.